This Sunday is not particularly an important Sunday liturgically or in the calendar of events of the church year, but it is somewhat of an important event for us here at St. John's. This Sunday will be the first time that we will have the full cathedral choir back with us in worship. And so we're very excited to have sort of another step back towards what feels like normal or what feels like our beloved routines. So we're going to celebrate that with a lot of really great music and music that people love to sing. We're going to come in singing one of the most popular hymns in our hymnal, Praise to the Lord the Almighty, with that wonderful tune that we love to sing. And then we have a lot of kind of musical and liturgical comfort food prepared for you as well. And it all kind of fits in with what the lectionary has us reading. The collect of the day talks about relying on God's assistance for guidance so that we can be the people that God has created us to be. And both of the readings sort of follow in that a little bit tangentially, but if you look at them through the lens of the collect of the day, you really understand what the collect is getting at. Isaiah talks about persevering even under persecution, and that having God's assistance and guidance, it always allows us to be our best selves no matter what the circumstances are. And then this very tender reading from the gospel where Jesus is kind of probing his disciples, saying, who do people say that I am? And they're all trying to grasp at straws, trying to come up with an answer to Jesus' question. And finally, Jesus says, but who do you say that I am? And again, thinking back to that collect, asking God for guidance so that we may fully understand our role and our purpose in life. Peter, in this sort of divine grace, says, you are the Christ, O Lord. So we have some really beautiful things to think about all through the service. That last bit, that you are the Christ, O Lord, will come up most pointedly in the communion hymn. We'll be singing these very words, you are the Christ, O Lord, the Son of God Most High, forever be adored, that name in earth and sky. A hymn that was written by William Waldham Howe, which is not a name that we're really super familiar with, but it is a hymn writer that we know because he also wrote the words for all the saints who from their labors rest. This text is matched in our hymnal with a tune that was written specifically for it by Richard Wayne Dirksen. And for those of you that have followed these videos or who follow church music regularly, you know that Richard Wayne Dirksen was a longtime musician at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., and was the first lay person named canon precentor. So he was a marvelous composer and had a way of writing music that was fairly intellectually advanced and yet very singable and accessible even on first hearing. And so you can hear that in this very simple, what sounds like a very simple melody, very catchy tune. That tune actually can be sung in a round, kind of like row, row, row your boat. You can break that into 4 entrances. So again, very intellectually sophisticated, and yet it sounds very simple, and it's, of course, very easy to sing. Backing up in the service from that just a bit, the choir will be singing one of the pieces in our repertoire that fits our ensemble best and has received some of the most positive responses from the congregation. And it's a setting of words by the 11th century abbot and monk Bernard of Clairvaux. So Bernard of Clairvaux was in the Burgundian region in the north of France. He was not very good friends with Peter Abelard. They had some disagreements in writing. But then Bernard, as a Benedictine, had this really wonderful idea of the grace of God. It's something that the Benedictines think a lot about. And he wrote this text that Christians have been using for 1,000 years. Jesus, the very thought of thee, with sweetness fills my breast. We'll be singing this with a setting by the American composer Alfred Fadak, who uses the plain chant melody that's associated with it, but uses it in very imaginative ways. So again, some really beautiful music and some very comfortable things for us to sing and to listen to and to pray this Sunday. We hope that you will join us here in person downtown or on our YouTube channel or on community television.